Yeah. Ghost, we make him fly like a ghost. If he want talk on the game, the heater gon' turn into toast. If he pull out and we split him, he was just doing a distance. Promise we ain't gon' miss him. His soul gon' fly when we lift him. Bye, good riddance. Why is this harm her feelings? To the top on a mission. I got a shot, take it with precision. You ain't up if you ain't down to get it. Fuck your bob if you ain't bobbing with us. No, no, no. Bye, bye, bye. Clock him out, he ain't gon' talk when the Glock is off. You ain't gon' talk when the Glock is off. Headshot, knock him out. Ah, get him, bye, good riddance. Sorry I had to do this. Sorry I'm being a nuisance. I just gotta get it. Hi, I'm Mary Jeans on my Louis V for the belt. 2 G's for the belt. Know the heater gon' make 'em out. Promise the heater gon' make 'em out. OD niggas know me. I just move along with the hand I throw.
Hi, everybody. Well, I only see Celia in here. Hey, my New York sister. How you doing, my sweetie pie? Hey, Stephen Crisco. How are you, sweetie pie? Hey, Corn's mom. How are you, my beautiful sweetie pie? Hi, everybody. I hope you are all well. I know it is Friday. So, TGIF. Hey, JJ. Hi, Manita. Oh shit, I forgot to give the link to JJ. Okay, I'll drop it in 1 second. Hi everybody. I know it is Friday. It is also St. Patrick's Day. So happy St. Patty's Day for anyone who's Irish, anyone who celebrates it. Happy St. Patty's Day. Drink responsibly. If you're going out there going to drink, you're already drinking, yada yada yada. I hope you guys have a great day, evening, afternoon, whatever, wherever you are. Okay. So hello, to everybody watching in the butches. Hello. Um, I hope again everybody's having a good day. I gotta put my glasses on. You already know. But before I start, I wanted to I did a short where I got these new lash extensions because I've been using these Kiss brand lash extensions that you apply underneath your lash line instead of putting false lashes on top of your lashes and you have that band. It's you can put them underneath. It has like this bond and this seal. Love it. Been using it. As I got better with it, they last longer, like a week. The only thing is me, I'm always rubbing my eyes, so I keep them on like 4 days, then I take the remover and remove it. Um, but I bought this one. Sorry, it's empty because I used them. It's called Kiss New Impress Press On Falsies. Now, with the other false lashes, you have to add a bond to your lashes. I add a bond to the strips and then you apply it, then you seal it. They have this other thing. It looks like an eyeliner and it's all nighter. It just keeps it longer. Sorry, just making sure. Um, so this one is just one step. It comes pre-bonded. It comes with a bond attached to the lashes already, and it comes with this holder, which is great. So this is all you need, right? And when I went into Ulta, I saw this and I was like, I don't know about the pre-bonded. Are they going to last? So I went to one of the Ulta workers and I asked her, and she said that everyone's been getting these. They've been loving them. So I tried it. I am in love. Okay. I did use some of the bond first on my natural lashes because this you can just apply them like that and they last 24 hours. I want mine to last a little longer. And because I was trying them for the first time, I wanted to do a wear test and see how long they can last with the actual bond. So I just brushed the bond through my lashes, applied these, bang. Or I applied a little bit of the bond onto the lash strip, applied it, and it was the quickest thing ever. And this is what the lashes look like. I have a little eyeshadow on today, but I hope you can see the lashes. I also did a short and you can see the lashes. They are beautiful. And this thing was $4.99. It came with 30 clusters. So that's like 3 wears. I used 5 on each eye. So I still can use two more. I can wear them two more times. 4.99, and you don't need bond, glue, nothing. And it came with this holder thing. So for 4.99, anybody who wants to try lashes and doesn't want a big band, I would, encourage you to try it. $5 is not a big amount. If you don't like it, if whatever, it's not a waste to me. Hey, Diamond Eyes, how are you? Oh no, I just started, Mama. I just started, so you're good. Um, so yeah, so these are the lashes. Sorry. I put a tiny bit of eyeshadow on. I've been really feeling like just the lashes without eyeshadow, but I'm missing my eyeshadow, so I'm gonna start going back to my eyeshadow because I miss it. Yeah, happy St. Patrick's Day. Hi, Vera. How are you, my beautiful girl? Oh yes, she sent me some lash clusters. Yay! So, excuse me, guys. I had said that I was sending out Diamond Eyes and Deborah's 17's packages on Wednesday. I will still send out Deborah's on Wednesday, but JJ is sending me a boxy JJ. I'm so excited. Y'all ready? If you were here, you know the first boxy JJ. The live is still on my channel. I did the live unboxing. It was something I've never seen. She said this box is even crazier. She sent me something. Well, the whole box really is a surprise because I only know one thing that's in it. It's a palette, but everything else is a complete surprise to me. And she said something that I was not expecting. So everything in there is something I'm not expecting. But okay, she put an extra a cherry on top. But she sent some stuff for Diamond Eyes and her granddaughter. So I'm going to wait. The box should be here Thursday, God willing. So I'm gonna wait and send out Diamond's Eyes box when after I get my boxy JJ, so that those items can be in there as well because this stuff belongs to her. JJ is sending it for her and her granddaughter, and I want to make sure she gets it all in time. I did a community tab and I asked Diamond Eyes if it would be okay if I showed what will be in the box because Bliss Chris gave me $25 to add, and Chronic Space, another one of my girls, gave me $10 to add to her box. I did go to Ulta and I got three palettes that I really liked. Diamond Eye said she likes neutrals, and her granddaughter's 12. I know when I was a teenager, I liked color, but I want something that she can play with that's not too much, whatever. So I'm trying to think in those in that mind frame. But I still have some more stuff to buy. So I will show you guys before I ship it out. I will show you guys everything that will be in the box. I guess I'll do a video packing the box for her. I won't show the little candies and all that because that's a surprise for her granddaughter. But I will be showing everything because I she did say it is okay to do that. So I will be doing that because it's always important for me to be 100% transparent with everybody. Um, so that way nothing can ever be said. I know Diamond Eyes wouldn't say that. Just, for other people can't say that I did something grimy because that's not my thing. Hey Teresa, how are you, sweetheart? So I'm excited about that. I cannot wait. I already know makeup and me is like love it, love it, love it. So thank you, Manita. That's very generous, and I'm excited for Diamond Eyes to have. I know there's gonna be some amazing stuff in there for her too, because we already know. And to everybody that's already sent her stuff, thank you guys. She's really so appreciative. She's really, really a sweet woman. And I'm so glad that we are getting to know her, that she is a part of our community. I just think that's an awesome thing. I'm so happy. So, okay, let me make sure. Of course, you're so welcome. And I'm so happy that you've gotten things sent to you. And that's beautiful. We have to support each other, right? Because women, the majority of this community is women. I do have men that come in here and they're more than welcome, no segregating. Sorry, excuse me. But the majority of my audience, of my community, is women. So, and I think it's important because we could be catty, women could be catty, we could be petty, we could be shady, we could, yeah, 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 yeah. But when it's important, I think, you know what I mean? That's when we should stand with each other. Hey, Angel Muniz, how you doing, papito? ¿Cómo estás? I hope you are doing good, baby. So, and we think you're amazing too, sweetie. Really, 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 really do. So, anything to make a teenage girl smile, listen, listen, Linda. We love that around here, around these damn their parts. So, what? What did she talk? Wait, what did you say? Oh my God, I know, JJ. You're gonna be an empty nester. But it's okay because the Nana and her Nana don't live far, and her Nana will be coming to the house. They can't be without their mama and their dad. They can't. But it's gonna be weird not having, any children, even though her children are grown, like mine. But still, they're still our babies. But I think that it'll be a little weird. But you'll be good, JJ. You'll just get to do more things with your husband. Bow, chicka, bow, bow. So that'll be fun. Hey, Stacy Avocado. Stacy Avocado. How are you, my favorite avocado? Hey, Stormy. How are you? So good to see you. Okay, so I got to drop is the link for JJ. Sorry. Wait. At least you are close together, but still will be an adjustment for you. Yeah. Wait. Was home today and took a nap. Aw, so sweet. Well, my sons are always home because I live with them. So that's not a thing. There's not a, what the hell? What I was about to share my screen. No, what are you doing, selfie? What are you doing, selfie? I'm gonna drop the link for JJ because it is just better with my JJ. And I was supposed to send her the link. I don't know what the fuck. But oh, in my description, I put a creator that I came across that is in the recovery addiction community. I really like her. I think I said this in another live. I'm not too sure. But I wanted to reiterate it. Her name is on YouTube is Discovering underscore Nicole. And I came across her channel because I was originally watching Narcotic Savant, and she was on the panel and she was talking about they were talking about Jessica Kent, and she has a lot more insight into the Jessica Kent because she's actually friends with Mindy. Um, so she has a lot more personal knowledge than we would about the situation and everything. So I was watching, and people have threatened to call CPS on her job, all kinds of things. And I think it's disgusting. You guys already know how I feel about that real life stuff. I don't think it's acceptable under any circumstance. You're trying to wreck her job. And it's harder for people in recovery that may have gotten in trouble in the past when you get a job and people want to mess it up over the internet. I don't think there's ever an excuse to mess with somebody's job, but it's particularly hard for somebody that's in recovery that has been open and honest about their history to get a job. When you get a job, nobody should be threatening. Oh shit, I forgot JJ could add herself. So she adds herself and I always knock her out. Hi JJ.
Hi.
You add yourself and I always forget and I go to add you and I knock you out by accident. So sorry. Um
That's okay. You can
it's
knock me out. It's all
weird.
right. I got the link. I'll just come right back in. You know me. I'll barge. I got no manners.
Yeah, no, it's weird because on the corner, can you guys see an image on the top, where my little icon should be? I don't know. It's weird. And I noticed I don't have a background either. Whatever. We're just gonna flow with it. Let me see. Sorry,
Gotta
I'm
tell
trying to.
you, today is St. Patrick's Day,
Yes,
and
ma'am.
it's a big day. You know, my husband's 100% Irish. He loves St.
Yes.
Patrick's Day, especially in New York. He loves St. Patrick's Day, but we're here in
Yes.
Florida. And so I went to lunch with him, which was awesome. And I
Nice.
had one little green Miller Lite because, I'm useless to
People
clients
are
if I'm
talking about
drinking,
green beer. I didn't even know
you
that was
know.
a thing. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, they put like I don't, the dye in it,
Oh,
food
that's cool.
coloring inside
That's
of it.
cool.
Yeah, and they make it the green beer. But I just cracked open a beer.
Oh,
So
what?
if you have to mute me, my drunk ass may not know how to unmute me
Sorry,
after I drink like 75% of the beer.
that's
So
true.
just mute me and be like, let that bitch talk in the corner by herself.
You won't even notice. But yes,
Won't even
Stephen,
notice.
yeah, I did sing. I'll sing it again for you. Stacy Avocado, Stacy Avocado. There, I sang it again for you, Stephen.
Yep. And I danced right away
Yeah.
because I
Oh, you
love
did
that.
it? Okay.
Yeah. I do like
But
cha cha cha. Cha cha cha.
side to side, yes, exactly.
Yep.
But I did find Discovering Nicole, as I was saying, and I really enjoy her channel. She's a very honest person, very open, has shared a lot. And then I followed her on TikTok, and she is actually doing a lot of work for recovery. She posts, oh my God, consistently um, about sex drive and Suboxone. She's really doing the damn thing. Mama T, hey, my girl, I've missed you.
Hey,
I hope
Mama
you're
T, where
well.
you been, girl?
I've missed
We
you,
have missed
Mama.
you. It's been a
Yeah,
little bit. I noticed. I'm like, where's
I
Mama T
noticed
been?
too. Mhm.
Yeah, but I don't want to. I know she's got a lot going on
Yeah,
and stuff, so I don't want
yeah,
to bother her
yeah,
with
me
it.
either. But so I did put her channel in the description. She has 25K subscribers. I really, really enjoy her channel. I really do. And again, I think that she's one of the authentic voices in the community, a little feisty. She has a southern accent. She's Mexicana, and I just love it. So it reminds me, like, because JJ's from the South and JJ's Latina, and
Hmm.
I don't know if she's from the South, but I've picked up on a Southern accent. I just love it. I just really like her vibe. I really do. So I hit her up on TikTok. She did comment in my comment section on my videos. She actually reacted. I didn't even know. I went in and I checked out her last live, and I'm watching it, and I didn't even know she mentions me. She reacted to my last live that I did where I spoke about Jessica Kent, and she was very kind, very sweet. It was very, very nice. And so
Well,
that was, I'm sorry, what, JJ?
oh no, I'm sorry, I interrupted you. Go
No,
ahead,
no, I just want to say
finish.
that was a pleasant surprise. I didn't know, I
Oh,
didn't
that's
message you for that.
amazing.
Yeah, and I was like, oh my God, that's so sweet. And I saw a few people, PH Emery, that was in here that was very, very sweet, is actually a mod for her.
Oh,
Megan was in there, and they were so kind. They were saying so many nice things about me, and I really, really appreciate that. And I thank you guys. So if you guys really would like a channel that is authentic, where you can learn, because it's educational, it's straightforward. She also is on TikTok educating people about recovery, helping to try to end the stigma that comes along with addiction and recovery. And she does interviews. She had her interview and she had to reschedule it. I think if it's not for today, it's the 17th. So I think it should be for today. Um, and she did tell me, hey, Chronic Space, my girl.
chronic.
Love you, mama. And I did tag you in a post because I started buying some stuff for Diamond Eyes, and I did tell everyone that you contributed. So thank you so much for that. I will be sending it out as soon as JJ's box gets here because JJ put some stuff in there for Diamond Eyes and for her granddaughter. But
Hmm.
I will be sharing everything that I sent to her. And so I wanted to thank you, Chronic Space, as well, because you contributed, and so you deserve praise, and Bliss Chris too, and everybody else that has sent her things on their own. Thank you guys so much. So I wanted to say that. But yeah, so I hit her up because she did say in my comment section she would love for me to come on her channel and tell my story. And so I was like,
Oh,
wow, that would be great. So I hit her up on
yeah.
TikTok, and she's booked all through March and April. But in May,
Wow.
I will be going on her channel. And it's she does it every Thursday. She, has people on her channel, and they share their story. Hey, Big Pump, how are you, my sweet nephew? Um, sorry, excuse me. So I will be in May. She'll let me know when it gets closer which day, because it was like all four Thursdays were open. So I will be telling my story on Discovering Nicole's channel, and I think that that is a great thing that she's doing. You guys know I'm starting to do interviews. I think that it's really important for other people to share their stories. I've mainly shared my story here. I was happy that Bliss Chris came up, Steven, and I would love for other people to share their stories in their own time. But I just really enjoy her channel. And again, I don't think it's right for anybody to try to threaten her for having an opinion or going against the grain because she had some strong opinions about the Jessica Kent situation. Again, she has a lot more insight. She knows intimate information. She's friends with somebody involved in that situation. So I understand. She said, I fiercely defend my friends, which I understand because I'm the same way about my friends. So I
Right.
get that and I respect that. So I wanted to
Yeah.
say that. Again, I linked her channel in my description. Anybody wants to check her out. And I think you would really enjoy her channel. So, uh,
Oh, I wanted to tell you
uh-huh.
before you move on real quick,
Yeah, please.
that Nicole, what was what's the channel name? I know it's
Discovering
Nicole.
underscore
This
Nicole.
Okay, discovering underscore Nicole. Okay. Well, I was talking to Dina yesterday and, we're like talking actually on the phone.
Right,
And she was telling me that she saw a video where they were, she had no idea, like, she didn't know that you had mentioned discovering Nicole before or any of
right,
that.
right.
So Dina actually saw that video and she liked it and she was like excited to see that, other people from the recovery community are seeing your video and
Oh, she
having
saw that
such
video?
positive. Yes, yes, that video that Nicole reacted to. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, wow, what the heck are the chances of that? But she
I
did. She
know.
saw it because she called me and said she saw the video and that, she saw people saying the positive responses to it. And I think it's just your way of trying, like, you don't look to drag people, you more or less look to, well, we don't, kind of, because every situation is different, it's not so
Right.
black or white.
No.
We don't know, there are a lot of things that we don't know about it, and just the way that you are with not wanting to judge people right off the bat. I think that makes a big difference. I
Thank
do,
you.
because
Thank you.
anybody can get online and be like, oh, this bitch Jessica, with all these
Yeah.
subs, how people are, we know
Yeah.
how people are,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I'm just it was nice to hear that, I'm like, yeah, she was the one that,
Mm-hmm.
reacted
Yeah.
to Cindy's video, so that was kind of cool.
Yeah. And it was nice to me too because I had no agenda or no ulterior motive, genuinely enjoying her channel and watching her videos. And then I just happened, I was going through like binge watching her videos and I happened to catch her last live. And it was funny because she's like, yeah, I came across this girl named Cindy. And if she was defending me, we're good. Because I did say, calling her job, calling CPS, like that's gross. Don't do that because she has an opinion.
No.
And
Right.
and so she was asking, she couldn't remember the name of my channel. Like she would, she had came and commented, but she couldn't remember. And Emery was like, oh, selfish queen. And then she was like, oh, I mean, selfie. And it's true. When you put in selfie queen, so many people, when they would be in chats and say hi to me, autocorrect would put selfish queen all the time. So as I
Yeah.
was watching, I was cracking up because she was like, oh shit, I meant selfie. And I'm like, girl, I get it all the time. I get it. Selfish queen. And it's
Selfish
because your
queen.
phone wants to autocorrect to selfish queen. So I get it.
Yep. Yep.
And they were,
Doesn't know selfie.
yeah, they doesn't know selfie, right? So it was just amazing because I did not expect that to hear my name and then to see her react to my video and just to watch and see other people how they in the recovery space because that's rare. I really have never had that experience where somebody from the recovery community sees my videos and gives me critique or feedback. And so many people in my pre-recorded video I did of Jessica Kent, so many people from the recovery community commented and were so amazing. And then on my live, were so amazing. And I think that that is what I enjoy and like. That I know that that community has drama, like every community. But it was refreshing for people to just pay attention to my words and not worry about selfie and you know what I mean, to really listen to my
Right.
message. And I just thought it was amazing, and I was so happy and so grateful. And I'm sorry. Hey, Pooch, how are you? Hi, Hoot3, how are you, beautiful? Hey, Jenny Lee, how you doing, sweetie pie? So I was really, really grateful, and I've gained subscribers. I'm gonna be honest, I was stuck um at a certain number for a long time. Like, I've always been honest, it would fluctuate, but it would always look like I stayed at the same place because of how much it fluctuated. And I finally got over that little hump, knock on wood, right? And I'm so grateful for each and every subscriber. So to all my new subscribers, hello, welcome. Thank you for being here. Um, I'm just really happy, and I think that I found the place where I really want to direct my efforts on my channel. This will always be selfie talking shit and being me, but I really want to direct it towards recovery and doing something on this platform besides just talking shit just to talk shit and drag people. You know what I mean?
Right. Yep.
So yeah, I get it. I get it, Diamond Eyes. Cook for your husband. Yeah. Um, so I'm excited about that. It's a beautiful thing, and I hope that you guys will enjoy the ride with me and with JJ and with us. It'll always be the same channel, but I just want to try some new things, and I have some ideas in the works, some new formats of videos. I want to start doing more pre-recorded videos, trying my editing. We're gonna see. I'm a work in progress, guys. Don't
I
don't
love
expect too
that.
much. Yeah,
I love
I'm
that though.
excited. I'm excited about it. Thank you, Stephen. I appreciate you guys. Thank you. You guys are so sweet. So I wanted to say my opinion a little has changed a little bit on Jessica Kent. Um, I'm not gonna be harsh because, like I said, I was a subscriber for a long time. I'm still a subscriber. Um, but I've been looking at the Reddit, the subreddit about Jessica Kent. They have so much information there, and I know that that's people posting. So you take some of it with a grain of salt, but they put receipts up in there. Receipts, like,
Really? Oh
yes,
wow.
yeah.
Okay. I like
Um,
that. I didn't even know she had a Reddit.
oh God, she
Like
does.
there's a
I
Reddit
think
about
she has
her.
a
I had
few.
no
I think she
clue.
has two, definitely. I'm
I'm
in
gonna
one of
have
the
to look.
Reddits, and I've been just going through the posts and reading the posts and seeing the opinions, and a lot of people feel like she's just really being manipulative, and that she is in relapse and is using the fact that she's such a big creator. And Nicole said, "Girl, she's a big deal everywhere." Because when I said I didn't know she was such a big deal on TikTok, Nicole said in her video, "Girl, she's a big deal everywhere." And I
Oh
knew
wow.
it was a big deal here. I didn't realize how big, and come on, she has 1 million followers on TikTok. She gained back the 1,000 that she had lost. She's back at 991,000 here on YouTube. People are forgiving. So I don't know. Again, I'm not going to pass too much judgment because there's a lot involved. There's a lot of people involved, but I just know that we owe our subscribers that have been loyal to us the truth. And that's a hard thing to be able to do sometimes, especially um when you have such a big audience. It can be intimidating, the fear of letting people down or of being exposed. But I don't think there's any much more she can be exposed for. And people are upset the way she spoke about the father of her daughters, the way
Yeah.
she was so quick to throw him under the bus when he was struggling, and then to find out she was struggling as well. So I think that there's, like you said, it's not black and white. There's a lot of gray areas there.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Um, and so that's
Uh,
why I said we have to be careful, JJ, when we talk about.
but I think for me, it's one thing
Mhm.
when somebody is struggling, in their lives, but I mean, doesn't it seem very manipulative to get on and I'm just thinking this like off the top of my head
Yeah, I
right
want to
now
hear your
because
perspective. Yes.
yeah, because I am just hearing this, I didn't realize she was struggling with her sobriety. But to me, isn't it quite manipulative to get on and do like this series of this, like after Reese and like how horrible he was and getting a restraining order and those kind of things and cops showing up and all that? Isn't it quite manipulative to be doing videos like that if you yourself is not sober, like,
Yes.
or
And that's why
clean?
people are upset. Yes, and that's why people are upset because
Okay, that's understandable.
you villainized this man. And again, not to take away from her experience or what was happening behind closed doors because we don't know, right? But he was villainized online, right? And she shared, the police thing. She shared um that piece of the video that was disturbing for so many people at the beginning of a certain video where she showed that snippet of him yelling and she's like sitting down with her phone and she throws her phone on the floor and she's recording as he's yelling at her and saying
Yes.
stand up. And now people, I've seen so many comments and so many scenarios, and now it puts it in a different light for me because there were people that have, and guys, this whole live is trigger warning as most of my lives are. So I think let me put up my banner because to be forewarned is to be forearmed.
Well, I mean, and even your title says addiction in all its
Yes,
forms. So,
yes. So
I
this
mean,
is a
that's kind
trigger
of a trigger
warning.
warning.
Right. My whole live is a trigger warning. Um, but I think that there were people that were saying that they had been in DV situations and the phone would have gotten broken. The phone, they wouldn't have been able to record like that. And it was obvious that the phone was there because it was right there. It was right there. Um, so I don't know. And different situations, again, I'm not trying to minimize somebody, say it couldn't be um abuse. I'm not here to say that there's just a lot of other possibilities. And it was just um things like I said that people that have intimate knowledge have said. Um, and why would you upload that? And so it's very opportunistic and to gain sympathy in that way and not thinking about your children because this is the father of your children and how he is portrayed now forever online, and what that will do to your children in the future. So I think that all
Yeah.
these points are important, and that's why I'm trying to be very careful when I speak about it, because again, whatever I say is out here forever, and I know that I'm adding to a conversation that may one day be seen by her children, and so I'm trying to be very careful in how I tackle everything now, because after this situation, it really opened my eyes to the fact that everything I say on here will always be here. And I've said that the internet is forever, but it not only affects my family, anybody I care about, whoever I'm talking about, it affects them forever as well and affects their children and all of that. So I'm really trying to be careful, but my eyes have been opened. My eyes have been open to a lot of things that sometimes a situation may look one way and we need to sit on it. You know how like when you're upset about something, they say sleep on it. Sometimes the situation you should sleep on it because the next day you may gain some clarity and the whole situation may seem different to you. But I think a lot of it was manipulative, and she doesn't seem, in my opinion, to want to accept responsibility because there's something going on. There's something going on there. Um, and I don't know what that is. I'm not here to say that, but I know that there's a lot of addiction online that's obvious for us. And that's why I wanted to talk about it because sometimes you have, when you say addiction, right? Most of the time when somebody says, I have an addiction or I'm in recovery, people's first thought is drugs, right? Oh, she's an addict. It's drugs. But it doesn't necessarily have to be that. People, alcohol used to be so acceptable, right? It was more acceptable. Like if you said, "Oh, I'm addicted to alcohol," it it didn't gain as much outrage as if you said, "Oh yeah, I'm addicted to heroin," or "I was addicted to cocaine," or "I was addicted."
No, it's like it was more acceptable.
Right.
I think it was just it is. It's more
Yes.
acceptable. I think because it's legal. You can go
Exactly.
in if you're 21 and older and buy it, and it's legal. So people automatically think, oh, it's legal. So it's not a big deal.
Right.
But I can tell you that the two times that I had gummies that are edibles, I did not wake up with a hangover whatsoever.
Right.
But the last time that I was on Cindy's channel and I had one beer that happened to be an IPA, which I'm drinking now. That's why I said, listen, okay, I don't, but me, I don't have an addiction or anything in Cindy and I are friends, but
Yes.
I didn't find her through addiction and
No.
recovery. So for me to drink a beer, the last time I drank a beer was when I had the last IPA when I was talking, like what, a
Yes.
month ago when I ordered all those
Yes.
clothes.
Mm-hmm.
So like and it's one beer, but an IPA
Right.
is pretty strong. So for me, I'm little, so
Yes.
it hits me differently,
Mm-hmm.
but for like, I don't know, it does seem like that. Like alcohol is socially acceptable. You go to restaurants, they'll serve it to you. They're not serving up, cocaina, and they're not so serving up, meth and
Right.
anything.
Right.
They're not serving those things up in a restaurant, so it's not this socially acceptable, let's hang out and do this kind of thing. And I think
Exactly.
that coming from somebody without an addiction past, it I can see that. I can clearly see that, and it is frustrating because
Mm-hmm.
alcohol is just as dangerous in my
Just as
opinion.
dangerous.
My
Yep.
best friend's sister, you guys know, in December, I went to a funeral, only 39 years
Yep.
old, and died. And it was all
Yep.
alcohol. She had cirrhosis of the liver and she died. And she was a bad alcoholic. They told her not to drink anymore. She did. And, she met some dude in rehab. They left together, which they tell you not to do in rehab. You're not supposed to be forming relationships, anything new, whatever. She left, wasn't taking her medications that she needed for her liver because she was very sick.
Mm-hmm.
But she'd been going through cirrhosis of the liver for a number of years, and she just never woke up after going to
Yeah.
sleep. And it was cirrhosis of the liver, like her ammonia. I didn't even realize that they could see your ammonia levels in your blood. I didn't know that was a thing. But
Right.
her ammonia levels were like through the roof, ridiculous when they took it, at death.
And that's
So
toxic, right?
it's
That's
very
toxic.
toxic.
Yeah.
Yes, when I saw her, a number of times, I would see her here and there at different family functions because he's one of my best friends. So it's like he's my family, I'm his
Of
family,
course.
known each other since we were teenagers. So it's going there, and I would see her eyes, yellow, like
She
where
had
it should be
jaundice.
white was
Yes.
all yellow.
Yes, she
And
had
her
jaundice.
belly,
Mm-hmm.
she was so skinny, but had a belly like
Yes.
puffed out, looked
Yep.
bloated badly, and that was all alcohol. So
Yep.
it's just as dangerous. So the whole stigma around it, I don't understand it. I really
Yeah.
don't.
And that's because she, like I've said, the jaundice is a clear sign of liver failure. So is the
Hmm.
distilled belly, the extended belly, all of that. Um, and I'm so sorry that for your loss and for your friend's loss, your best friend's loss. And I think that that is a thing. It is socially acceptable because there's so much alcohol in so many social settings, so we don't see a problem. But so many people have battled alcohol have had the same outcome as people that have struggled with methamphetamines or opiates or any other drugs. When your life becomes unmanageable, it doesn't matter what that substance was that got you there. So I think that that is a thing that we have to remember too. There are people that have lost their families, lost their housing, their jobs, and lost their lives from alcohol. So I think
Yeah.
that it is just as dangerous, and that is important now that people are realizing that alcohol and it's just as hard to detox from and just as dangerous detoxing. Oh,
Oh yeah, from what I hear, the alcohol is
hey, mama's
more
friend.
dangerous
Mm-hmm.
to, like, you should not at all, if you're a hardcore alcoholic, you should not at all detox at home at all. Like, you
No.
should do it in a medical setting
Yeah.
because it's very, very dangerous. Alcohol is worse.
Yep.
And you could look it up, like statistics. I don't know what they are offhand, but I have, just knowing Cindy and wanting to learn more
Yes.
about it. And I can tell you, I was somebody prior to that who was judgmental of anybody doing drugs. It's like, oh, you're freaking crackhead, you're this, you're that, whatever. Why are you even bothering? But I didn't realize, and even with my dad being an alcoholic, and some of you guys know my story, I put it on my channel. My dad was a horrible alcoholic and then
Right.
decided when I got pregnant that he didn't want to be a bad grandfather like he was a dad, like a father. So
Yeah.
he stopped, but yes, he had to get medical intervention and all of that to do that. But then, from knowing you and realizing a lot of things, it's just it really makes you think, and that's a part of the awareness
Mm-hmm.
and the stigma that comes with any kind of addiction. And I think these videos, as wonderful as they are for people that are in the recovery community, I
Mm-hmm.
also think they are great for people that have not had personal um, any kind of personal addictions, any kind of
Right.
history with drugs or alcohol. I for me, I could drink a beer like for the St. Patrick's Day, like I am right now,
Mm-hmm.
or I could not touch one again for 6 months, and it wouldn't matter.
Right.
But it's different for everybody, and I get scared of that, even with my own kids. I always warn them and I try to tell them and, explain the dangers because they're of drinking age and they listen to me. They do. They're great kids, thank God. But I do think that these videos that you do and everyone else in the recovery community should be like blasted everywhere for people that may have a family member or a friend and they don't understand it and they may be judgmental like I have been in the
Right.
past. I was a complete
Yeah.
asshole when it came to people using any sort of drugs. I'm like, Jesus, just put it down. What the hell are you doing? Live your
Right.
life. But it
Right.
was because I didn't understand. To me, it's foreign to think differently in the behaviors of addicts. But I've since learned so much, and I feel like an ass for being so ignorant to it. So I
You didn't
hope,
know though, JJ. You didn't
but I
know. You
didn't,
know?
and I never would have
Right.
unless I became friends with you, whom is an addict, and I realized, like, wait a minute, like, this is one of the best people ever on the planet, and she had a past, and then I wanted to look more and more and more into it, and I've learned so much, and I'm so grateful, to have
Yeah.
learned that.
I'm grateful too to that. Hoot Three says I quit drinking 40 years ago. I did it
Oh
for my
wow.
infant daughter we were adopting. I was a child with an alcoholic dad. No kid deserves that. Thank
You're
you for
right.
saying that, and I agree. It's
Thank
very
you.
difficult when you have addictive personality like I do. It manifested in drugs, but it can manifest in food. Like I have this thing with food too, like certain types of food I become fixated. I'm very weird with that. Like if I find something I like, I will eat it until se me repunda, till I get like, "Ugh, okay, I don't want it anymore."
Right, like
I
disgusted.
will continue to get it every single day until I can't anymore. Then I move on to something else, and that is a pattern for me. I will stick like with
Coffee
snacks
ice
or
cream.
food. Yes,
Coffee ice cream. That'd be
exactly.
one of them.
That's a long term one. That's been for forever. But there are things like that that I do. I wanted to just read this really quick. It says
Sure.
more than 6% of adults in the U.S. have an alcohol use disorder, about 1 in 12 men and 1 in 25 women. So that's crazy.
Well, yeah, because they say that, even if you're somebody who drinks once a year and you binge drink to the point you're not even controlling how much you drink, that's
Yep.
a problem.
Yep.
It
Yep, I
is.
agree. Stephen Crisco says, I lost someone to alcohol. It's horrible to watch in slow motion, so sad. And that's what it is. It happens in slow motion. It doesn't happen overnight. And even if people look like they are able to function, there comes a time in their life where they won't be able to function. You know, there's such a cliche as functioning addict. And those two words seems like an oxymoron because being addicted to something is when you're not able to do it in moderation. So to be able to function, you may be able to function for a certain amount of time, but after a while, there's no such thing as functioning. One aspect of your life is going to suffer. Even if you're able to go to work every day and focus, you're still going to come home and do that drug. So your family is probably going to suffer. You're not going to be able to function in every aspect of your life. So you may excel in one area because you're good at hiding it or controlling it in that environment, but something else is going to suffer until it all falls apart on you. You know, and so I think,
Well, yeah, you have somebody, and I'm not going to out the sub. I know she's talked about it in your chats and stuff, but
yeah.
still, but she has said that she had considered herself, a functioning, and I think it was alcoholic. I think that's
Mhm.
what she was,
Right.
a functioning alcoholic, and she didn't think that there was anything wrong with it. But now that she is sober, she sees that she wasn't so functioning after all. You think you are, but you're
Yes.
really not. You think you're hiding something, but you're really not.
No, you're really not. And yes, Hoot 3, congratulations
And that's
on
amazing.
40 years in sobriety.
That's incredible.
That's a lifetime. And I think
Hmm.
that takes dedication, and so I commend you for that. Um and I wanted to say that there's a different addictions, right? You guys, well, most of you may know, but I've spoken about Maddie, um,
Yeah. Maddie and Daryl.
Gerald Owens, and
Hmm.
I check in every once in a while, and Maddie looks worse than ever. Maddie is an addict that's living on the streets,
Oh
hasn't
no.
seen her children in going on 6 years, hasn't been home in nearly 6 years, and she looks so bad, like scary bad. And I stopped watching, um, and I spoke about her a few times, and then I stopped addressing it because there's nothing I can do. There's nothing I can do, and I'm not the kind of person that's gonna like harass her or come on here and berate her with bullshit. Like, because that's not gonna help her. First of all, who the fuck am I? Second of all, she has made a career out of grifting on the internet for her drugs. And I think until YouTube takes away that ability and she goes to Facebook, whatever, until people stop enabling her, there's nothing that I can do. She's not listening. She doesn't care what anybody thinks. When I was in my addiction, I didn't care what people thought about me. That was the least of my concerns. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's not as if CPS can come and take her kids, because when you have that fear of CPS, that could be a very real thing. Like, oh shit, I got to get clean. Her kids are already with her family. She doesn't have that fear. She doesn't have any fear. She doesn't care. She doesn't care. She's so engulfed in her addiction. So that's why I don't talk about her anymore, because I just feel like, and not to say that she's a lost cause, that's not what I'm saying. I just don't think that there's anything that I can add that will do anything. Now, it can be for educational purposes to show, but I think that there are other people already know. The majority, the addiction community, they know who Maddie is. Um, and it just makes me sad for her. And I'm praying, I pray for her. I pray for her all the time. And it's a weird place because I get angry that she's gets all this money to kill herself, and some people do it because they are genuinely, they worry, they don't care, they just want to help, that grandmother figure or that mother figure, they just want to help her regardless. Then there are the people that want to celebrate her demise. There are people like that will send her money, that will egg on her behavior, enable it, because they get a sadistic satisfaction out of that. That is a thing that happens on the internet as well. So I don't talk about her anymore, but I do keep up. I check in, and it makes me sad every single time. Um, I've also spoken about Miss Ashy Cat, and I am happy to report that she is still in recovery. She is still doing her thing. Um, in that aspect, she still
She
does.
looks good.
She looks good.
She looks good. I mean, I don't know like a person on drugs or alcohol versus somebody who's not, but just by looking at them. However, the change in her appearance is pretty drastic.
JJ,
I
thank
mean,
you,
it's pretty drastic.
thank you, JJ. I saw somebody
You're
saying thank you to
welcome.
JJ. I'm like, what does she do? Thank you,
Yeah,
JJ, for
you
gifting it.
got
Vera, Stormy,
memos.
Teresa, Vicky, and Leslie Leon. Thank you, and congratulations on winning the memberships. And thank you, JJ, for that.
You're
That was very,
welcome.
very nice of you to do that. I appreciate that. I just saw people saying thank you. I'm like, what the hell they saying thank you for? I'm like, oh, JJ did one of hers. But yeah, I just so I'm glad that Miss Ashy Cat is doing well. Yeah, I don't mess with the tarot card reading and all of that. I just don't believe in it. Again, I think it's fun. It's for
Right,
entertainment purposes. I don't think anybody should take it to heart. That's just my opinion. Again, some people believe in it wholeheartedly. I don't mean any disrespect to do what you want. It's your money. Do what you want. Um,
right,
just be aware of that. You know what I mean? But don't be a skeptic and do it to expose somebody that they're fake. If you felt that they were fake from the beginning, you just have egg on your face. But okay. But I'm just happy that she's doing well. I am genuinely happy that she's in her recovery. She looks great.
she
She's
does.
And if she's doing tarot card readings, she's not harming anybody. That's a service. People enjoy that. People like
Right,
tarot card readings. And if she's uplifting somebody and she's not, if she's not giving them their readings or she's not providing the service that she was paid for, that's different. But if she's providing you a service which is for entertainment and she's uplifting people and telling them nice things about themselves, and I don't think she's hurting anybody. Honestly, I don't. It's better than her out there doing illegal things,
right.
money. So
I agree.
I don't see anything wrong in what she's doing. Nobody's strong arming anybody to do it. So congratulations to her, and I'm always here for people that are doing better and that are in recovery and that are thriving, whatever that may look like for them. So I'm so happy for her. Seriously. Diamond Eye says there's a lot of bad stuff on social media. We just have to be better and steer away from the bad apples. And I agree. And that is what I am intent on doing. I am intent on doing that. Like I said, I like to be as petty as the next person. Trust and believe that shit. I take my little digs and shit. But that is not my goal here on YouTube. I'm not an exposed channel. I'm not a tea channel. There are people that is their thing. They are good at it. That is not my thing. Right. Um, and I don't get enjoyment out of coming and talking shit about people. Like I don't get enjoyment on every day, every time I come live, somebody's name in the title, and I'm gonna expose them and drag them to filth. I don't get enjoyment out of that shit. It's stressful, actually. For me, it's stressful. I don't. It's
It
not
can
fun.
be. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it can be. It can be. For me, somebody just called me a bitch, whatever, another day, whatever.
Right.
I
Wah,
don't
wah,
care.
wah, wah.
Well,
Like,
yeah, exactly. Call me whatever I don't care.
yeah.
But there are some things that are just like it can be hurtful. Like when it comes to kids and stuff, like my daughter being threatened. Yeah, I'm gonna feel a certain way about
Of
that.
course.
And I don't really care who likes it, doesn't like it, that
I
I
don't
feel a
either.
certain way about it. I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say because
That's right.
and I don't mind telling people. People always say, don't say what your Achilles heel is. Well, you're kind of dumb if you're a terrible parent if your kids are not your Achilles heel. I mean, to me,
Exactly.
that just goes
Exactly.
without saying.
Right.
Duh.
It definitely goes without saying. It's like, don't let people know what gets to you. That is like a no-brainer. You're a parent. Talking about my kids is gonna get me pissed off. But what I've really, really convinced myself of is to consider the source. Consider the source, and that's what I tell myself. If I'm thinking of some shit, I'm like, consider the source, Cindy. Consider the source, girl. You know what I mean? And that helps me like not to feed into it because I still am like biting my shit. But it helps me to consider the source. So I try to remember that. But everybody has their boundaries. And if your boundary is crossed, you have the right to address that shit. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? For real, for
Yeah,
real.
that is pretty much my boundary. And
Yeah.
people
Oh, mine
cross that,
too.
and I will
Mine too.
never forget it.
Nope, me
That
either.
Kiki Ray, I'm
For
never going
real.
to
For
forget it.
real.
And I'm gonna call out your name every single time. And you know what I should do? I should call out the people who thought that it was okay. But I'm gonna
Mhm.
save that for another time.
That's right. We know who you
We
is.
know,
We
we
know who
know, we
you
see
is.
you.
We see you. Pooch says, "Hi everybody. It's hard to convince someone that their addiction is changing them for the worse because it's the hardest thing to accept the truth about yourself, especially when you're not ready to face it. When you're not ready to
Right.
make these necessary changes, it's the hardest thing to recognize that you are slacking. You know what I mean? Like it's hard for me in certain aspects when I know I could be doing more. So I get that. But with addiction, what we don't understand is a matter of life and death. It's a
Yes.
matter of life and death. It's not like a character defect, like I should work on it. You know, I wake up and I'm nasty and I'm grouchy in the morning. Damn, that's a character flaw I need to work on. Okay, if you
Right.
don't work on it and you snap at your kids, damn, you're a bitch. But your life is not at risk. Where with addiction, if you wake up this tomorrow morning and you do some drugs, you are risking your life. So I think that's the big difference. When it's a character flaw, you're a bitch, okay, but you can work on it. But if you do a bag, that may be your last one ever. And I think that
Oh,
that's where the difference is.
that's especially right now with all the fentanyl. I
Yes,
mean, wow. That's,
yes.
and
And now
I'm
there's
hearing
something even
fentanyl is
stronger
like
than
in
fentanyl. I think it's
cannabis. And what?
carfentanil or
It's even
narfentanil. There's
stronger?
yes, yes, yes.
Oh, shit.
Yes, I saw a video on it, and remember I had told you guys about the amount of fentanyl that it was like grains of salt.
Tiny. Yeah. Yep.
Well, with this new fentanyl, it's even less than that. It's insane, and people are dying because of this fentanyl, and fentanyl's in everything. They're even putting it in pills, everything. Everything. It's in everything. It's in ganja. Guys, it's not a joke. Like you never know what they're putting fentanyl in. And so you're really playing Russian roulette with that shit. And it is crazy. And I did see Steven say that she, realized that she had a predisposition. And I think that that's so important. When you
Yeah.
have addiction in your family, you are predisposed to having a addictive personality. That is facts. That is scientifically proven, and you
Right.
have to be aware of that. And knowing that is you got like a little leg up to see the warning signs. And I think that's why it's so important that I speak to my sons because they are predisposed to being addicts. And again, it may not be with drugs, it may be with women, it may be with food, it may be with gambling, it may be there's so many things. There's a YouTuber, Eugenia Cooney.
Oh, God. Oh, her.
She's
She's
been battling.
painful to
It's
look at.
painful. Yeah, she's been battling ED for years, and Shane Dawson actually did a kind of, I don't know, interview, documentary, whatever, with Eugenia Cooney. She was sent into treatment against her will. She was 5150, and she came out and she was in recovery. She looked great. And she definitely has relapsed, and she is deathly thin, still makes content. Um, and it's it's skeleton, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful to her.
No, it's beyond that.
It's
She
skeletal.
might
It's
as well
skeletal.
not have anything other than just bones. It is one of the worst. And there's a
Yes.
Isabel something. I forgot her last name. Oh my gosh, it's like on the tip of my tongue. And she's
Yeah, yes, the
French.
one that
And
was her friend, right?
she was a French model. No, 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 not
Oh,
with
oh, okay.
Eugenia. She was a French model, absolutely
Lisa.
beautiful, had an
Uh-huh.
ED, anorexia nervosa, and she would actually, she was the first model that admitted what she had and posed naked for it.
Right.
She was getting help, but she was so far gone, she ended up passing.
Oh
And I
my
feel
God.
like, yes, and if any of y'all just look up French model and anorexia nervosa, whatever, it will come up. Her name is Isabel. I can't remember her last name, but
Right. You
I
just have to
mean,
put an eating disorder and stuff.
yeah, and absolutely beautiful, but she did it because she was
Excuse
trying
me.
to help others,
Oh my
with
God.
it, to realize, what exactly was going on with that. And it's just so freaking heartbreaking. And Eugenia is, honestly, she's there already. She's even thinner than Isabel was. So, and
It's
some of
terrifying.
it there's no coming back from. You're doing permanent damage
Damage to your
to organs.
organs. Yes.
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 So
And that's
it's
what I fear.
heartbreaking.
That her organs, God bless her, her organs may shut down. You need nutrients to live. And it's gotten so, it's terrifying. It's terrifying to me. And so I think that that's why I was saying that to say that there's so many addictions that take over your life. There's people that gambled, that have gambled their whole life
Shopping,
savings.
sex, like there's a lot of addictions out there.
There's people that have contracted HIV and all these things from being addicted to sex. It's not a joke. It's scary. Um, and it makes me scared for everybody.
Mhm.
Addiction is so scary. And Pooch asked, and hi Lisa from the West. How are you, sweetie? I'm sorry. I wanted to say hello. Um, what drove me to drugs in the first place? I don't know if that was a general question or for me. Um, Trauma, undealt with trauma that I went through as a kid,
Yeah.
um, becoming an adult and living on my own and not having dealt with it just made me more susceptible to drugs. It made it easier to say yes. It made it easier to want to numb stuff that I didn't even know was there. Like I didn't even realize that that's what had made it easy for me to use drugs. It wasn't until later when I was in my recovery and I was talking to therapists and to counselors that I realized, holy crap, it was stuff that I went through as a kid that I had never dealt with. And it just manifested in drugs. And plus, I was predisposed to addiction and it just manifested with drugs. It could have manifested in any other way. And for me, it just manifested in that way, sadly. Um, but I can't change it. And I think that I regret it, which is a weird thing because of course I regret having been an addict and having continued that cycle that my mother went through and that we went through, and then I continued that on for my children. That makes me sad that my
But
children had to go through that.
yeah, and it's awful, but at the same time, there's it was a different time. Like when we were growing up, our generation, very different. We
Yeah,
didn't have the internet. We
no,
didn't to see that these things, like you're told, just say no to drugs, your brain on drugs, all of those things I remember learning. But at the same time, it's like, you know what I mean? It's
yeah,
just not,
I get it. There's so
people
much knowledge
say it,
at our
but
fingertips.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right, right. You don't know until it's kind of like, oh, I'm just hanging out. It's cool,
Yes.
and then one time, or how many people have gotten hurt, whether it be a car accident, sports, something, and they're given like, 400, 500 painkillers a month of Percocet. Like, and I
Yeah.
know somebody who did that and he ended up unaliving himself in front of his 4-year-old child.
Oh
So,
my
and it
God.
was a yes, and it was on that medication. I knew him very, very well. He actually tried to date me. I'm like,
Oh
no.
wow.
Yeah, he asked me out many times, sent me flowers to my office, to my house, all these things. And I'm like, no, thank you. Because I heard, that a lot of the times he's messed up. And I'm like, I don't want to get really
Yeah,
involved
no.
with that. And
Mm-hmm.
then a year later, one of my husband's very good friends called, because my husband's very good friends actually took in the 4-year-old and adopted him.
Oh, see,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
And
it's horrible.
it is horrible. It's scary. And Jenny Lee said that she doesn't even buy the pre-rolls because some of them were laced with fentanyl. That's terrifying.
Yeah, yeah.
That's terrifying that you're getting
Mm-hmm.
them from these shops, and that scares me. You go to dispensary, God forbid. Oh my God. Um, and Lisa from the West, I am so sorry. She said one of my daughter's best friends from middle school thought she was taking a Percocet, and it was laced with fentanyl. Gone at 23 with a baby
Oh
girl. That's
my God.
horrible. And I'm so sorry for your loss, for your daughter's loss. That's horrible. And that's the thing. Xanax, all these things, Percocets, they're being laced with fentanyl, and it's taking people's lives. Especially now, a lot of younger people take these Percocets, Molly's, all these things. They take these pills because to them it's not. Those are party drugs, right? So they're not
Mm-hmm.
addict. They're out at a party, they're socializing, and they're taking Percocets or they're taking Molly's, and they're passing away because it's laced with fentanyl. And they may be doing it recreationally. They may go to a party one day and somebody says, "Hey, you want a Percocet?" They take it first and last time. And this is the thing. This is why I say I've said it since the first time I talked about addiction on my channel. Addiction is a matter of life and death. It is a matter of life and death.
It
It's
is.
still I
And
pray to
even
God
if
that I never
e-
died. What, JJ? My
and
mom's right.
even if a person doesn't, realize that it's life or death, you really got to look around,
Hey,
because
rabbit of chaos.
do you have your family? Do you have your friends? Do you have everybody in your life that you had pre addiction?
Right,
Like, are they looking at you the same? Is it
right.
ruining relationships? So while you may not, die from whatever, you might get lucky and that not happen. And I pray to
Yes,
God that everybody gets lucky and gets
yes,
another chance,
yes. Me too.
because I do believe that addiction is a disease and
Yes,
should be handled as such. I mean, it affects the brain. Like,
yes, it
that's a
does.
disease. So
It definitely does.
once it's something that is a compulsion, there's really not a way to help it unless you ask for the help and you want to get better. And you have to be willing to hurt a little bit to get there, or a
Yep,
lot of it to get
of
there,
course. Yeah, you have to physically hurt. You have to mentally, emotionally, because you have to deal with all these things that you didn't want to
Yeah.
deal with that led you to drugs to numb it in the first place. And that's why I also say you have to feel it to heal it. You have to. You have to go through these feelings because trying to suppress them is what got you in the situation in the first place. So you have to work through all these feelings to begin to
I
heal.
think some people don't realize that that's what they're doing. I don't think they realize that it is trauma, or that it's
They
something that
don't.
they're not wanting to feel,
No, they don't.
until they do it. And it's like, oh, damn, I feel great. And this is things that I was reading, and different, videos and things that I have watched on the subject of addiction. And
Hmm.
it certainly seemed that way. Everybody was like, I thought everything was fine until it wasn't, until I got served divorce papers, or
Right.
until, I lost my job,
Yep.
or my kids
Yep.
want nothing to do with me,
Something
or were
drastic.
taken away.
Yes.
Yes, something
Something
drastic. And I
drastic.
guess that was their,
Hey,
quote,
Howdy.
rock bottom, unquote. I
Yeah.
mean, it seems that way.
Everybody's rock bottom is different. And sometimes it takes a tragedy before that happens. Like Jenny Lee said, her, I don't know, sister-in-law, baby daddy got clean, and 2 years ago on his birthday, banged in his arm and did too much, and we lost him on his birthday. And that is right. You're
Wow.
clean, you celebrate, you don't realize your tolerance has changed. You get
Yeah.
clean, right? And you may have been using a certain amount before you got clean. You're clean, your system, your body is now void of all these toxins. So when you use again, you think that you can use that amount that you once used, and it's way too much for your system to take, and you lose your life. that is terrifying. That happens as way too often as well. And I'm so sorry that your sister-in-law lost the father of her children. That is horrible, horrible. And I'm telling you, when we do these lives, so many people share these stories of people that they loved that they lost and to addiction. And it doesn't matter what your upbringing was, what your race is, none of that matters to addiction. You can be the poorest of the poor, you can be wealthy, you can be white, black, Asian, it doesn't matter. It doesn't discriminate, and the result is the same: jail or death. It's the same.
Well, and proof of it doesn't discriminate is the recent Alex Murdaugh trial.
Yes.
He, I guess, was an addict of opiates for like 20 years or something.
Hmm.
And it was to the point that it was super bad. He was blowing all kinds of money on it, money he was
Embezzling.
stealing from the firm,
Yep.
embezzling exactly. And then the unaliving of, you know,
His
these
own
people,
family.
his own son, his own wife, and he's been convicted now of it. So
Yes,
it's not
yes.
even an alleged, he's actually been convicted of doing it. So,
Yep.
you got to wonder too how much of that was because of drug use. There's some crazy people, right? It doesn't take
Yeah.
to be a drug addict to be an asshole. It
No, and I
doesn't.
think that sometimes there is, and I've said this too, sometimes mental illness will look like addiction, and sometimes addiction will look like mental illness.
Hmm.
And sometimes it can be both. It can be a dual diagnosis. And hi, my Audi, my beautiful Audi. It can be both, but no matter if you're under the influence, and sometimes, like, if you get yourself in trouble, they'll try to say, oh, they were under the influence or they were mentally ill, and this is why they still gauge if you are are you able to be legally held responsible. In my opinion, you should still be held responsible. Now let's say somebody who's schizophrenic and is hearing legitimate voices and all of that, that is an area I don't touch, um because I'm not a doctor, I'm not a psychiatrist, I don't understand how that fully works. But and I think people like that should go to hospitals where they can be treated. I don't think they should just be thrown in jail. I think they should be forever. If you commit a heinous crime, I'm going to say what it is. I think that you should serve out your time in a hospital. I think that is the difference. That is just what I feel. But I think that you're still um, legally, responsible. And there's so many people that are not well, and that the internet is a huge addiction. The internet, oh my God, especially since Covina, the internet became an addiction for so many of us. I know when Covina
Yeah.
first hit, I was addicted to the internet. I went from being on the internet a couple of hours a week to being on most of the day. You know what I mean? Especially when I was home and I wasn't working because my city was
Right.
shut down.
Oh yeah, you
I don't
were
watch
shut down,
TV.
shut down, like
Yeah, New York was
ghost
shut
town in New York
down. You couldn't
City.
even leave your house. So I wanted to be on the internet. And that's how I really got into all these communities and all this stuff. And some people, now that the world is open again, people got so used to that they are now afraid to venture back out. No, F that. I want to go into the world. And so the internet, I have now um adjusted my life that, okay, the internet is not my main focus. I said this
Yes.
before, I went from the internet being 10% to being 90%. And now I'm it's not 10% because now I'm a creator. So it's a little more than that, but my life doesn't revolve around the internet. I know
No.
when to unplug, I know when to turn it off. I know the difference. I know the difference. And there are people that are so addicted to the internet that they have to come here every time, like, live. I stubbed my toe. I had to tell you guys about it. Click off. Every single thing that happens in their life or somebody else's life that's none of their business, they have to come live and tell everybody about it. And that is addictive behavior, especially if, let's say, you're on the internet and it's causing you detriment, it's causing you TPOs, it's causing you lawsuits, it's causing you to lose
Yeah.
relationship,
Mm-hmm.
your housing, your family, your children. Your
That's a
children are
problem.
like, no, you're too much on the internet. You talk too much shit. I can't mess with you. You've lost the relationship with your children. You've lost with your significant other. Your job probably don't have one. If you had one, you lost it. And you still continue to come on the internet.
Yeah,
You
it's
you have an
crazy.
addiction, manita. You have an addiction. Hermana, you have an addiction. Seek help yesterday, because that is an addiction. Seriously.
No, it is. And you often hear that people will trade, one addiction for another.
Kira said that. Kira
Once,
said that. I'm sorry, she probably left, but I was ignoring
oh,
her. I
did
was,
she say that? Okay, well,
yes.
yes, that is, something common that I read about. It's kind of like, okay, I don't want to focus all of my time searching for and figuring out how to get, because some, from what I've learned reading and
Mm-hmm.
watching videos and all kinds of things, and they all say the same thing,
Yeah.
some addicts don't, like, it's the ritual of trying to get it every single day,
Yes.
their drug of choice.
Yep.
It's the, some people say, having it in their hand. Like, all of those things
Definitely.
are an
Definitely.
addiction. So
Yes.
now that they're not doing that, because they're getting better, they detoxed or gone through rehab or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
they trade it for another. They start putting it into either working out,
Yep.
shopping, sex,
Yep.
gambling. There's so many different addictions that happen, and all of those can be detrimental to your
Of
life.
course, because you
It's
still
not
have
just
the addictive
drugs.
personality, JJ. You haven't addressed your addictive personality, right? So you then substitute one for another. That's just like somebody who, I hate this, hard drugs. I'm not going to say that because that's stupid. Let's say I'm using heroin and I detox and then I start using ganja, right? But I haven't changed my behavior. So when I start smoking ganja, I'm smoking every day. I gotta wake up with a blunt. I gotta go to sleep with a blunt. If I don't have the money for my weed, it's a problem. If
Whew.
I don't have my ganja in the morning, I'm cranky. That is an addiction. So I've just substituted one for another, and it's just as bad because my behaviors haven't changed. I haven't learned, hey, you know what I mean? You don't need it. You got to work on these things that led you to it. You got to know and be honest with yourself that you have this disorder, you have this disease of addiction. Addiction is a
Yeah.
disease, and it needs to be treated as any other disease needs to be treated.
It does. And it's what's awful is, like,
Most of
Pooch
your
is saying that
yeah,
addiction affects everyone around you, but you are still responsible for your actions.
I
And
agree.
right, it does,
Agree.
you're not only harming yourself, but I can promise, you're
Yep.
harming everyone else, including kids. I mean, I am a child of someone who was an alcoholic.
Yeah.
So I get it. And I grew up, and those, um, I'm sure all of you do too, especially if you've had some kind of trauma. You sort of like relive that almost
Yes.
every single day, and it will
Yeah.
come like at the most inopportune times, right? It could be
Yep.
showering, taking a bubble bath, just
It'll
chilling,
manifest
and
itself.
then
Yes.
you start having memories,
Yes.
of something that happened that you may have like tucked away and didn't even remember that happened 10 years ago. And then suddenly you do. So trauma is very, very complex.
It is. It is very complex, and you're right. You can be triggered at any moment, and that's why I think that putting mechanisms in place to recognize your triggers or what might set you off, and when you start reliving that trauma as if it just happened, I think that that is when it becomes important to know um these ways to fight it, learning to cope. And I've said that too, JJ. For me, learning to cope was
Yep.
the key to my recovery. Learning that things
Mhm.
are going to happen to me no matter what. I'm going to lose people that I love. I'm going to have bad things happen to me because that's what life is. And that as long as I get through it and I talk about it and I'm honest and I deal with it and I feel it, I won't use. And really learning that has helped me because I didn't know how to cope with things. I didn't know how to cope with sadness. I didn't know how to cope with being overwhelmed. I didn't want to feel those things because it hurt. And I thought too much. And I really, really learned how to cope. And for everybody, that learning to cope and what that looks like is going to be different because everybody's threshold for pain and for what they can endure is different. But if I could give any advice to anybody struggling, it's to learn to cope. And that may be what can save you for real, because that's what saved me, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can be a workaholic, yep, and a
Yep.
churchaholic. Anything in excess
There's a
that
lot.
consumes you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. Right. We
Yes.
got members. We got 5 more members.
Oh my gosh, JJ, what you did,
I
girl.
want my poodle car. Okay. I want my car with the poodles
Oh shit,
hanging out
that's
the
right.
goddamn
I
window.
gotta make your emoji. That's right. I had to wait
I
for
want my
13
damn
more.
emoji. I want it. I want my little
And that's not
Sebastian
me
hanging out the
asking for
window.
them. So Miranda, oh my God, Diamond Eyes, yay!
Yay. I
Diamond Eyes,
know.
Miranda, Education, Rabbit of Chaos, and the Amber Chick. Awesome, congratulations. Hey, Bliss Chris, my girl. How how are you, sweetie pie? How you doing? How you doing?
Dang work bliss. It's ruining everything, isn't it? I love when Bliss Chris is here. I adore her. I
I love
really do.
it too. It's my
I
girl.
never thought I would say that, but I do. She's
Oh my
so
God, Diamond Eyes. Now you can
like
go and
me.
watch all the members' lives. Girl,
Yay.
under the member banner, you gonna want to see them.
Yes, and Mondays at 5 p.m. Eastern.
His
You know, I
members only, girl. Yes.
members only, and that's where we will do any kind of drama going on, whether it
Yep.
be drama against us or drama
Drama
against
in
other
general. That's
people,
what we do it.
drama in general, because we won't do that on the main channel. It's not, no.
No,
This is for
don't do that.
addiction and other topics, and yeah,
Yes.
and it's
We're
important.
keeping it
I think it's
civil here.
important.
Members' lives is to talk the shit. Talk the shit, shit, shit. So, yes,
And if you
ma'am.
don't like curse words, you might not want to be a member.
Yeah, because I'll let it
Hey.
all fly. Listen, as long as I'm not
Yep.
breaking TOS, and YouTube don't have a problem with it because all my shit gets monetized. So
Uh-huh.
that's it. Because they did amend that rule of no cursing. That shit was unrealistic. It was fucked up. They did amend it. You can't curse in the first 8 seconds, and you can't just like I just can't be like fuck you, bitch, fuck, fuck, my whole video. But you know what
Open
I mean?
it like that. This stupid motherfucking hoe whore bitch.
Right, exactly. And throw and the in between the curses. You can't do that. But so
Uh-uh.
it's more reasonable that I can be my authentic self. But I've tried to tone down with all the cursing because it ain't ladylike. Fuck that. But I'm just saying I've really tried to tone down the cursing because so people could hear what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Without all the curses. But I'm gonna be me. F bomb wanna fly out my mouth, it gonna fly. It gonna fly. The B word, bitch. That's like my favorite word. that word flies all the time.
Well, Diamond Eyes says, I agree. If I'm going to talk smack, I'd rather not do it publicly. LOL. Yeah, and I get that. And trust
Right.
us, we've done it many, many times publicly. Many. And I can
Man,
promise you that neither Cindy or I, if we saw the person that we would speaking about, would be worried to say it to their face. I can
yes.
promise you. Because
No,
we're
we
pretty
wouldn't.
like,
I
it
would
is
say
what
it
it
to
is.
your
And if you
face.
don't like it,
Right.
bye.
Sorry. Sorry. But we don't come here to just to mess with people for no reason. J
No.
Fid. Oh my God, my sweet
J-Fed.
J Fid. Guys, J Fid suffered a loss um of her mom, and I'm only saying it because she said it publicly, or else because in the post that I did on the community tab, I didn't say it. She said it publicly, so I want to publicly give her my condolences.
Oh gosh,
J
yes.
Fid, she's family. This is our girl. She's been with us from the beginning too. Um, yeah, 2 years Japhid's been with us, and I love her.
Yeah.
We love her.
Japhid is one of those people that if I see her name, I instantly smile, like, "Yay, my
Hmm.
Japhid!" Like I'm
Right.
always so happy to see her. So, and
Yes.
it is heartbreaking, and
Yeah.
I'm praying for her, and I
Yes.
pray that she rests in internal peace,
Me
and I
too.
pray that God wraps His arms around you and your family,
Yep.
so you can get through such a trying time. Because I
Yes.
can't even imagine my mom. I talk to her every day, so it would be heartbreaking. And Cindy knows what
Yeah.
you're going through. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I
our
can
thoughts are
definitely
definitely
understand.
with you.
Yes, and our prayers, our thoughts, our deepest condolences. We love you, and we're here for anything and you may need. Just know that we love you dearly, seriously, and you have our deepest condolences.
Hmm.
Hey, Jolly
Yeah.
Rancher, my sweet girl, how are you? I understand. Love you too, Mama. Love you too, my girl. Thank you all for such sweet thoughts and prayers. Y'all are really helping. We love you, J-Fid, and you're gonna get through this. I know it's hard, and I know, trust me, I don't even want to say that because we have to get through it, but I trust me, I know what you're going through. And I love you. Okay.
Yeah. And Jay Fit is one of those people that if she's your friend, she's your friend. I would not want her as
Yes.
an enemy.
Me either.
Let
Oh,
me
me
say that. I would
either.
not want her as an enemy because,
Me either.
oh, no. Like, as sweet as she could be, she could turn that bitch on in 2 seconds. And I love every bit of it because I
Yeah.
understand that. Like, I completely understand it. And I love seeing her whenever she's in any chat and
Yep.
completely loyal. When
Oh,
people
she's
would dog Cindy
1,000%
and I
loyal.
out, like J Fit ain't having it, and
No.
I can't appreciate her enough. And she don't give a shit about any backlash or
She
whatever
don't
she
give a
gets.
fuck
And
what you
that's
think.
kind of like me. Like I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say, and
Yeah.
if I say something wrong and I feel bad about it, I'm gonna apologize. If not, then it is what it is. And
Right.
I appreciate J Fit because she is just like that and so loyal. So we
She
love
is
you,
just
and
like
I'm
that.
so
Yes.
sorry for what you're going
Yes.
through right now.
Yes. She is. She's a ride or die for real, for real.
She is.
She
Yeah.
really is. Oh shit! Look, she said I ride to the end. Yep, she does.
Yeah.
She
She is.
does. She does, and we love her, and she's been with us a long time, and so she's family. So just wanted to say that, make that known. Um,
Absolutely.
but yeah, I don't know. I love you guys, and I appreciate you guys, and I wanted to do a more in depth video of what different addictions look like, and so this was basically like the introduction to that conversation. But I do want to do a more in depth of different specific addictions and what they consist of and what harm can be done with different addictions, because I know that drugs is high on the list of harm being done when you think of addiction. And there's other addictions that are just as dangerous. They just um when you have drug addiction or alcohol addiction, death is so high on that list. You know what I mean? Because every time you use, you can pass away. So I understand it being like one of the highest on that list of addiction, but there are other addictions that are so harmful and so dangerous and so life ruining for people. And I want to go through that and give examples of that,
Yeah.
because I think that that's important. And so I think I will do a pre-recorded video with that because I can structure it and actually show you guys and stuff, things like that. When I do lives, it's more, us talking to you guys and having more of a conversation. And so like I said, I do want to do a lot more recorded videos, a lot more of that. Working on some editing and stuff and all of this stuff, because I do want to make better content on my channel. My channel was mainly a streaming channel, and I don't mean any disrespect to streaming channels, but I just feel like at the place where I am now, that would just be me being lazy. If I just came and streamed all the time, and again, I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I'm saying for me, I need
Right. There are some people that love to stream because they love the interaction, but
yes,
at the same time, there's nothing wrong with putting an uploaded video where you can get your points across and at the same time not have to engage with a chat. And I don't mean have to engage with the chat in a bad way because
no,
I
right.
love it. I
Me
love the
too.
live
Me
streams. I
too.
love to
Oh,
be able
me
to
too.
talk and give my opinions and
Yep.
see my peoples and have little
Yep.
side conversations in the chat. I love it.
Me too.
However, when it comes to wanting to get your points across,
Yes.
it is better to do an uploaded video
Mm-hmm.
because you don't get sidetracked in any way. Because
And you
I
don't get
know
so
me,
distracted. I get
oh
so
my God,
distracted. Yes. Yep.
ridiculous. I'm
Yep. Mhm.
diagnosed ADHD and OCD, and I don't take medication at all for the
Right.
ADHD. And I can tell you, I get it's easy. I could read a sentence and have to read it over and over again 10 times because, somewhere in that half a sentence, I started thinking about something
Yeah.
else.
Yeah.
So
True.
it's
I get
crazy. And
distracted easily too, JJ. Like
yeah,
with the chat,
yep.
I lose my train of thought. So I realize that doing pre-recorded videos, I'm able to get my point across easier. So I think like with things like that, if I'm talking about like statistics and stuff, I just think I'll just do it in pre-recorded videos.
Yeah,
My
I love
live
that.
stream is still gonna be my channel, but I do want to incorporate a lot more recorded content on my channel. um, that's just something that I'm going to work on. And since I have a little extra time, I'm going to start doing that, you know? And so
Hmm.
I'm looking forward um, to where the channel is going. I appreciate you guys. And again, I appreciate my new subscribers and all the content creators who have been just so amazing and gracious and welcoming. That's rare because you hear Selfie and JJ, and it's like, "Whoa, I hate their asses." And it's
Right.
nice to hear nice things, to hear my name in a video, and not like, "Oh shit, what I do now?" You know what I mean? It was refreshing, and it was just so nice, and to see the chat was just so overwhelmingly
I
amazing.
love it. It makes me happy and it puts me in a good mood. For me, y'all, like new people, I'm just a co host, the worst co host in co
She's the
host
best
history.
co-host ever.
However, I come from a place of not being an addict and not having an addiction past. However,
Hmm.
I'm no better for that than someone that does have an addiction past. They're sick, or
Yes.
they were sick at one time and working to get better. And I am so grateful that my eyes were open. And now I'm mad at myself. Like, what was I thinking to ever, 5, 10 years ago, think like, oh shit, drug addicts, they're just drug addicts. I didn't get it, I guess
Yeah.
is what I could say. And now that I do, I want to help in any way that I can to make a difference. Like you
And you
want
do.
me to come up with questions coming from a
Yes.
person that doesn't have
Yep.
an addiction history, and I
Yep.
love to do that. I love it
Hmm.
because I have so many questions. I always have questions.
Exactly. And I think that that's why it's so amazing. Um, because you add a different perspective to the one that I have, and you can ask questions that I may not even have thought to ask, or input that I may not have, again because our perspectives are different. But I think that's what adds to the conversation. And I think that you're an amazing, my best friend in the whole world, but you're an
That's right.
amazing co-host. You add so much to the conversation all the time. You're funny, you're witty, you're honest, you're raw. And I love that. And that's why I enjoy having you, because I think you really, really just have brought so much to all these conversations, important conversations, you know?
Well, I think it can be, yes, and it has, like Jay
Yes.
said, it made you an excellent advocate.
Hey, woman.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. Because now, I
Yes.
think so differently. And once you get that perspective, it's
Mhm.
amazing. You just want to help instead of push someone away,
Yes.
But I
Yes.
also understand that someone cannot be helped until they want to be helped.
True.
I've learned that they have
True.
to want it. They have to, hit that rock bottom, whatever that might be. Their rock bottom might not be losing a job, losing their marriage, but it might be their kids will never talk to them again. Everybody's rock bottom is probably different,
Oh, yes.
and for me, I see so clearly now. And it's crazy because I talk to my kids about it, I talk to my husband, I talk to my employees, I
Mm-hmm.
tell them every bit of things I learn, and it's always shocking to them, like, wow, that makes sense, okay,
Right.
yeah, I get it, kind of deal. So I've been able to explain things to people that are also not addicts or have an addiction
Yes. Yep.
history.
So
So
you're spreading education, JJ, and that is helping in itself. That is being an amazing advocate because your children don't know that, like you said, your father struggled with alcohol, but he
yep,
got clean when you were pregnant with your son. So your
right.
kids don't know that side of your father.
They
They have
don't.
peace.
They don't
Right.
know. I have told them things that have happened, very specific incidences and things in my past, because I want them to understand what alcohol can do to a person,
Yeah.
compared to the person that they knew, the only
Yes.
person they knew, which was an amazing guy. My
Yes.
dad was amazing when he wasn't drinking. He was
Mm-hmm.
amazing and so talented. Musician. He built planes, fighter planes for the government.
Oh, yeah.
He did lots of different things. And
Oh,
while I tell them that, I also explain to them, the dark side, the home
right.
side, because they are predisposed.
Yes.
My
Yep.
daughter is a type 1 diabetic. She was diagnosed at 13. My dad was a type 1 diabetic. So
Mm-hmm.
they understand how blood works and how things go down the line. And,
Yes.
so a person might get something, and then the next, like my kids, I didn't get diabetes, but my daughter did.
Yeah.
you know my aunt, who is my dad's only sister, there were only two kids, my dad and his sister.
Mm-hmm.
And my aunt, I love her dearly. She never got diabetes. My dad did. However, her daughter, my first cousin, got
Right.
diabetes. So it's and it's a disease. Diabetes is a disease, just like
Yes.
um, drug addiction, any
Yes.
any addiction,
Yep.
alcoholism, all of
Yep.
that.
You're
It's the
right.
same. It's no different. Your brain wires you to be one way, and that's what it is.
I
So
agree. Sorry, guys. I had my face too big. I was like, girl, scare me. Back up a little bit. But yeah, I agree, JJ. And I think that they are predisposed, no matter that it skipped you, thank God.
thank
Um,
God, yeah.
but you have to be vigilant. You have to be vigilant when it
Mhm.
comes to addiction. Um, and be aware of it. Diabetes. Yes, I have so much family that passed away from diabetes.
Well, yeah, it's prevalent in Hispanic households,
Yes, definitely.
just like
And
sickle cell, in
yes.
black
Yep. Yep.
households.
Yep.
The diabetes is very prevalent in Hispanics.
Hispanics,
So, and then
exactly.
my daughter, she ended up with it, and she ended up with every other ailment I've had so far. It's crazy. Even though we did the 23andMe, and she's definitely my daughter, she's like,
Definitely.
Mom, I didn't even need to do that. I know, because every single thing that's in your side of the family, it's
She's
crazy.
experienced. Yes.
Yes, and she's actually my daughter more than my son is my son. 23andMe, I know that sounds crazy, but 23andMe, the way they do it is the parents, they'll
Mm-hmm.
give you like either 50-50. Well, my daughter was 51% mine. My son was 49% mine and got 51% of his
Oh
daddy.
my God, I want to do that. I want to know my kids. Well, I can look at them and tell. they all their damn father. That's a damn curse. Like,
Right, right. And it's crazy because my son has my complexion, olive complexion, dark hair, everything. My daughter has her dad, and her dad
mm-hmm.
is Scottish,
Yeah,
coloring, all of that.
yeah.
But when it comes to health, nope, she's all mine.
Wow. I
She
would
got my
love to
genes
do that.
entirely. You would think it would be 50-50, but that's not the way it was at all.
I would
And I
think
was
that's what I
shocked.
would think too, and I think that that is so incredible. Now I want to do that because
Yeah,
now I'm
because it's
curious.
DNA. They go
Now
by
I'm
the
curious to do
DNA.
that with my dad. Like, you know what I mean? How much of
Do
my
it.
dad
I had
do I have?
no idea that I had indigenous Native American in me, and I have, what was it, 7 or 8%? I had no idea. And I also have Cuban besides Puerto Rican. And
Oh
my whole
wow.
family had no idea that Cuban was mixed in with it. And then my aunt decided to do it because she thought that I was full of shit. So she did the 23andMe and it came back, yep, Cuban on my
Oh
dad's side.
wow.
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
see now I'm intrigued. Now I want to do that too. Now I
uh-huh.
definitely want to do that.
Yeah. Our ancestors come from Spain and Cuba and indigenous Native American.
I'm interested
That's
to see where my dad comes from, with his blue eyes and all of that. Like, where do you
yes,
come
girl.
from, Dad? You know what
My
I mean?
mom has blue eyes. My mom does. None of us got blue eyes, but my mom
I
has
don't
them.
got it. My brothers do, but I ain't me and my
Hmm.
sister. My sister had light brown eyes, beautiful brown eyes. But I didn't get that. It's because my mother was dark. You know what I mean? Like,
Me, my brother, and sister all got hazel eyes.
yeah.
My son has my dad's eyes. They're almost black. And then my
Oh,
daughter has a very light brown.
yeah,
They're
she's very
beautiful.
light brown.
So it's so weird, how DNA and genetics work. But
Mm-hmm.
going back to the whole addiction, that's why I had to explain to them, and I had to give them very specific examples.
Yes.
Because they know I've been in therapy for forever.
Yeah.
And I got my daughter therapy when three of her friends, her best friends, passed away when
Yeah.
she was in her senior year of high school. And one
Mm-hmm.
of her friends that she met in diabetes camp also died, fell asleep, and her blood sugar went too low and she passed away.
Oh my
So
God.
yeah, so she went through, in 1 year, she went through a lot of loss at such a young
Such a
age.
young age
So
too.
I got her therapy for it because I'm like,
Yes.
nah, I
Yeah,
see
I'm
these
glad. I'm
signs of
glad.
like depression, only wanting to lay in
Yep.
bed and,
Yep.
not understanding why you're here, but they're gone kind of
Mm-hmm.
deal.
Yeah.
So, I got her therapy, and I think that therapy is a wonderful thing for
I do
everybody,
too.
even if you don't have big problems. Just the outlet of therapy is
Excuse me.
amazing.
I agree. I think therapy is an amazing tool. I don't think people should, you know, be embarrassed for therapy. I think I love therapy and it's helped me as well so much. Diabetes killed my granddad. I'm so sorry.
Yeah,
I'm so
it's
sorry.
it's a very serious disease, and it's 24/7. And Jules has wanted to get on here and talk about, because we belong to the JDRF, the foundation, and new parents that their kids have become, their juveniles have become diabetic, and they were just recently diagnosed. The
Mm-hmm.
JDRF will give numbers to parents who have been dealing with it for a while, and
Right.
could be like lend support, basically, almost like a therapist, but not a therapist, just kind
Mm-hmm.
of
Yeah.
helps you, because we understand what it's like. And
Kind of like
I
a
do that.
sponsor type thing.
Yes, and I do that for parents, and my daughter will do it with kids. They always called her
Aww.
when a new kid was diagnosed in middle school or high school. They would call her to come and sit with them and in the nurse's office and
Mm-hmm.
try to explain things and how to
That's
get through
wonderful.
things. And
That's
oh, it
wonderful.
is. It's amazing, And now she's in school for endocrinology. She wants to work with kids that are
Yes.
diabetic.
I
So
think that that's incredible, JJ.
yeah, it's a blessing. It really is. She's such a good kid. I'm so
And
grateful.
hopefully maybe she can come on. I'm
I've wanted her
hopeful.
to,
I'm
but
hopeful. Yeah.
She would love to. She's always wanted to come on. Are you kidding me? Even when like I've explained a couple of different like drama things that are going on, she would love it. But she respects her mama enough
yeah,
that if I say no, I don't
that's
want you
your
involved,
wishes,
I don't
right?
want you involved. And
Yeah,
she hates that, but
I know.
she's a good kid and she respects it. And
Of
I
course
would
it does.
love to have her on
Oh, I
explaining
would too.
diabetes. I mean, you ask that kid anything. What does it do to your blood vessels? What is it? What does this mean? What does that mean? She knows it. Just knows it. It's
She's
a
incredible.
24/7. She never gets a break. It's not like in the
No,
morning you take a pill and you're good for the day.
no,
It's not like that.
you have to
It's
monitor
24.
and be aware. Yep,
Every meal,
yep.
every party she's ever gone to, she has to be careful of what she's eating and adjust her insulin for it. She always calls herself a robot because she has so much equipment attached to
Yeah,
her.
right.
She has a
And she can't just
Dexcom.
go somewhere and forget her insulin, or it's just so
No,
sad.
she can. Like she's got it in a pump and she has to adjust. And then she's got on her arm a box. It looks like a little box and it's a sensor and it monitors her blood sugar 24/7. So
Hmm.
I get, and it's amazing, and thank God, for technology because I get if she's falling asleep, or it could be 3, 4 in the morning and her blood sugar drops. I'll get an alert on my
Oh,
phone through the
wow.
app. Yes, it's incredible and
It's life saving. That's
it's
life saving.
life saving, 100%, 100%. And she's out
Yes.
20 minutes, not even 15 minutes from where I live, 5 minutes from my office,
Yeah.
and I get those alerts. Like even when she was in school, I mean, she's still in school, college,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
even when she was in high school, middle school, I would get those alerts. So
I think
I'm
those
so
are important.
grateful.
Yeah, I think those are
Yeah.
important. And like you said, big pump diabetes is somewhat reversible. A high healthy lifestyle can save your life. Understand everything you eat, your body turns to sugar. And
Yes.
there are some that can do that. Like when I had gestational diabetes, I was able to do that. And you have to
There's a
know that
difference. There's a
there's a
difference
difference. Yeah.
between type 1 diabetes, which is
Yes, and type 2.
hereditary.
Yes.
Type 1 is where your pancreas no longer secretes insulin.
Right.
So your body's void of that. So anything that you eat, yes, it turns to sugar, it goes through your
Uh-huh.
bloodstream, and it's
Yep.
toxic.
Yeah.
And then there's type 2, where you've abused your body, whether it be through carbs, which turns to sugar,
Right.
alcohol, whatever it may be.
Yes.
You push yourself to the limit, you're probably overweight, and you get type 2. And yes, that's reversible through lifestyle.
Hmm.
But type
And me,
1
I was
is not.
pregnant. I don't know. I guess because I was pregnant, I got diabetes. But as soon as I gave birth, it went away. And I didn't have to take the medicine anymore. Thank God. And
Yes.
so, and
Yes.
I've
And
never
type
been
1,
diabetic.
you will never, type 1, there's no nothing. There's no healing it. There's nothing we
No,
can do
my
right
mother
now.
had it. My mother had
Yeah.
diabetes, and my mother had to
Yeah.
take insulin 3 times a day. My
Was
mother
she
had it
type
when
1?
she was, yes. Uh-huh.
Yes. So yeah, Hispanic
She had to
household. I'm
take
telling
insulin
y'all.
3 times a day. Yeah, my mother had to
Mm-hmm.
carry with her insulin, her pens, and it was pretty bad. Her sugar would get to like 500, 600. And I'm like, how the fuck is that? One time it got to 7 something. I'm like, Ma, how are you even walking? Her blood sugar was always super high. And it's just in my family. Her brother that passed away, had diabetes, had his
Mm-hmm.
toes amputated. My mother had her toes. It's just very scary. And
That's what got my
Simon Guy
dad.
says my daughter has the Dexcom and it saved her more than once.
Yes. Yes. It's amazing. And anybody that has a juvenile diabetic, 18 or under, I highly suggest the diabetes camps every summer. My daughter went to them and she
Hmm.
met, she was able to be normal. She met
Yeah,
so many kids, that are, and it's run by doctors, nurse
yeah,
practitioners, and pharmacists.
right.
That's who runs the camps. And it's absolutely amazing. And she's some of her friends from all over Florida. She's still in contact with, talks
That's
to
so
all the
awesome.
time.
Yeah.
It's amazing. And the first time she went, it's a week long. They're not allowed to have phones. It's real sleepaway camp, like
Yeah.
in the woods with a
Yes,
lake,
I
little
love that.
cabins. It
Yeah.
is so cute. And I felt horrible. I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to leave her here. How am I going
Yes.
to be without my baby? This is the first time. You know, she was only
JJ, you did
13
it
years
again.
old.
Stop it right now, girl. What the
Yay. Yes, I did it. Who got it?
Oh my God.
And
Amanda, Chris S., Lisa Wigger, Viva la
Viva
Roca, and
Loca.
fucking
Fucking low
Loki.
key. Woo,
Yay.
woo,
Thank you,
woo.
JJ. Lord of mercy. Thank you. I was seeing five. I was like, is that shit still there from a long time ago? And then I saw, and then I saw Mama T say, thank you, JJ. You crazy.
You're welcome. I love
Thank
having members. I do.
Yes,
I
so
love
much
our
fun.
members only on
Yes,
Mondays. That's fun.
it
That's
is
just a
fun.
chill, vent bitch session. I love
Yes,
it.
it really is. It really is. It's a fun time. And congratulations to everybody. Oh my Viva la Roca, she's gonna be so happy too.
I
That's cool. She
know.
can come into the members only. I think that's so awesome. Um and it makes me sad that JJ's daughter can't do it right now because we really JJ's daughter is so smart,
She
so
really is.
knowledgeable. And diabetes affects so many people too, and so many
Mm-hmm.
kids. And I think it's important. So many of us have been affected by diabetes. And that's why I have to be tested too, because my mother had diabetes. So many of my family
Yeah.
members had diabetes. And
Mm-hmm.
um and Rabbit of Chaos, her family had diabetes. She said, my dad and his mom had diabetes. I and my three kids don't have it. Thank God. You know what I mean?
Yeah, thank God. Thank God. And type 2 really is lifestyle.
Yes.
For some type 2, they just take a pill like metformin or I think
I used to
Ozempic
take
even.
metformin.
Like,
That's what I used to take.
yeah,
Metformin.
yeah, that's a very common one, that type 2 will take, but type 1, your body doesn't make insulin at all. It's like
Yeah.
your pancreas died because that's where insulin's a hormone and that's where insulin comes from and
Yeah.
it died. So your body no longer makes it. It's just a hereditary thing and that's what happens and it doesn't have to do anything with lifestyle at
Yeah.
all.
Yes.
Type
Right.
2, definitely lifestyle for sure.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
then gestational diabetes, once you have the baby, your sugar usually goes
Yeah.
back to normal.
Regulates. Yep.
Yeah, regulates.
Yes. And
Hmm.
and Rabbit of Chaos, yes. Every Monday at 5 p.m. Eastern time is our members only. In the members banner, there's a whole bunch of lives under the members banner because every members only live is still there. I don't delete them. I don't delete any of my videos or my lives. So all of the ones that we've ever done are under there. You can go check them out. I think they're entertaining.
Yes.
And every Monday at 5 p.m. Yes, always.
Yes. Unless you don't like that. If you don't like bad language and you don't like bitch
But
fest,
she
then
does.
don't
She follows
listen.
Jules. She said earlier. She said, I
Oh, okay.
follow Jules. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Yes, I've seen her in Jules. Yep,
Yes.
I have. So,
So she would
yay, you're gonna
definitely
feel
show you.
right at home, girl.
Yes, yes. But I think that I don't know. I'm excited. I'm happy that you guys were here tonight. Sunday is alive. I don't know, JJ. I want to do something fun. I don't know. We need to think of something fun for Sunday. Um
Okay, we'll think of something.
yeah,
I
I want
can't
to think
wait
of
till the
something.
unboxing.
Oh
I
my
can't
God,
wait.
I
I
can't
can't
wait.
wait.
I'm like a little kid. I told her I'm gonna be
Me
stalking the
too.
mailman now.
Wait till you see
Sorry.
because there was one thing in there that I wanted to send you because it's beautiful. So I had
Hmm.
ordered it, and then it came and like a couple of shades were broken. So
Oh,
I reordered, and then I had to send back the other one and then go ahead and reorder whatever. And it came on Wednesday or yesterday. I can't remember. One of them days. So and it's perfect. It's pristine. So
I'm so
my
excited.
ass
I
packed
know
that
you
stuff
did
real
too.
good.
I
Yep.
am so excited because I'm telling you, the last Boxy JJ, I still can't get over it. Like,
Boxy
I,
JJ, like it's a real thing.
it is a real thing. But I would, guys, the live is still there, and it's basically the title is Boxy JJ. Guys, I was in that box unboxing it forever. It was packed, and she packs it immaculate. Listen, JJ, Her house is immaculate. Just JJ's immaculate. But the
Yes,
way
I
she
like my things
packs
perfect.
boxes, girl, it's like she was doing a jigsaw puzzle. Everything fit perfectly, bubble wrapped. Like it was insanity. I was like, how the fuck did she do this?
I
So
was playing old school Tetris, and I was
you
really
really
good at
were.
Tetris.
Fit the shapes in everywhere, and it was filled to the top. And this box is, I posted it on my community tab. It is huge. I'm excited. It is a beautiful thing, and I'm so grateful to her. And we will be doing a live unboxing as soon as it comes. Listen, I'm scheduled. I don't care what day it comes on. I'm scheduling it right that day. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it because I want to send the stuff out to Diamond Eyes ASAP, and I want to open it because I can't open it till I do the damn live, and I can't wait. I'm gonna open it. We're gonna have fun, and we're gonna yes,
I
right? She
know it's
should.
going to be so fun. It's going to be so fun
Excited.
because
Yes.
there's a variety in there. You're getting nails,
Yay! I
lashes.
love
I
nails.
even got like a clothing item in there for you.
Oh my God. Okay. So it's a
Yeah,
lifestyle box, guys. I'm
it is, and it's
Fab Fit
pretty. And I
Fun.
have
Keep
the
your
same
heart
one.
out.
The clothing item. It's like a Fab Fit Fun.
That's what I just said. Fab Fit Fun. Eat your
Fab
heart
Fit
out.
Fun. Yes, that's
Yeah.
what it is. I'm telling you, it's
Oh
so
my
cute.
God. I'm excited. So, guys, we're going to do that as soon as it arrives. I won't schedule that live because I don't know when it arrives. But as soon as the box arrives and gets here, I will schedule a live and we will go live and we will do the unboxing. And I'm so excited and thank you, JJ. Hi,
You're
Lainey Lynn.
welcome.
How are you,
Hey,
beautiful girl?
Lainey.
But so we'll be back Sunday, God willing, and we're gonna try
Mm-hmm.
to think of something fun and entertaining to do. And then our members onlys on Monday, of course. And I will throw in some pre-recorded videos in between there. So if make sure you have your notifications, oh my God, like a real YouTuber on so that you'll know when I'm, drop a video. Like I'm a big YouTuber. Y'all already know. Y'all already know. But hi Welsh Rose. How are you, my sweetie pie? So I thank you all for being here. Sorry, Welsh. I know you just got here. I'm sorry, guys. I'm starving and I have to go get something to eat because me and my son we are starvation alley.
Yes.
And I
I
want to
haven't
go
eaten
eat.
either.
Yeah, because it gets too late and I can't eat past nine
Mm-hmm.
o'clock because I'm trying to, get ready for the summer, guys. I'm trying to
Well, no,
summer coming.
you're getting your like hot girl summer bod on.
Yes, man. You know what I mean? MILF body. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But I'm trying to, tone it down. So I thank you guys for being a JJ. Thank you so much, Manita, for gifting
You're so
15 memberships. I gotta go
welcome.
do the emoji now before they take it away from me.
Do
Um,
my emoji, girl. I
I'm
want
gonna make
poodles
your
hanging out.
emoji.
A good
Yep,
car. I
a
want a good
nice
car.
car,
My
luxury car with a
Sebastian, and
doggy.
remember my Sebastian's a little brown poodle.
Yes,
And I
he's
got
a
two
chocolate.
others.
He's a
I got a
chocolate.
silver, an
Uh-huh.
apricot, and a
Okay.
chocolate poodle. I got
Okay, so
three of them.
silver, apricot, and chocolates. I got it.
Yes.
I got
Most important is get my Sebastian in there because he's
it.
my
Of
little
course.
baby. And I think if he could crawl up my ass, he would.
He would. He
He
really
would.
would too. He has to be with his mama. But thank you guys for being here. I
Yes,
love you guys.
thank
We love
you.
you guys so much. And we'll see you Sunday, okay, guys? Again, I thank you all. You guys are amazing. You guys, I just love you guys. You make my day. No matter what I'm going through, it's always better. And JJ, I just love you so much, Manita. Love you so much.
Love you. Love
And
you
thank you
more.
guys. Have a great St. Patrick's Day. Drink responsibly. Be safe. Have a
Yes,
great
have fun.
weekend. And we will see you Sunday with bells on to talk about what a great weekend we had. Okay? Love you guys. Te quiero mucho. Te adoro. All that good stuff. Nos
Yep.
vemos, mi amores. Bye, guys.
Adios. Bye, everybody.
Love you, J Fit.